Alright guys, we'll do as much Citizen Sleeper 2 today as I can. It's very hard to keep on reading everything over like 2 hours. Normally I do 2-hour sessions, but it's just kind of hard to read everything out loud. Alright. Let's see what we're doing. Paint the rig. I don't think we have anything else here, right? Nope. Uh-oh. I'm actually losing supplies now. Oh, I guess it de-glitched me. Okay, we still have to wait. Oh no, I need to get the wide beam array. Let's see. Should we go? Let's see. Export. Dark side. We had to go back to Holmes Rock. Go to Aphelion Beacon. I guess we can go to all. Yeah, we can do the Ankita stuff, right? Because we are there. Oh wait, no, there's something else here. Ooh. Okay. I'm guessing Eugen has to be there, right? Okay, so he gets, so I guess I should do Bliss, because we won't have a hacker, but like, we need an engineering, and we need somebody with the intuition, whatever thing. Because I'm just so bad at that. You should be able to see your own stats while you're here, but... We're coming up on the beacon site now. Seraphim brings the ship into place. Signal's pretty weak though. Turns in his chair. Which is what you get for chasing 10,000 cycle-owned leads that got a lot of people killed. Since you explained the situation to Seraphim, he hasn't gotten any more enthusiastic about the job. Especially as it's a job that comes from Eugen. Seraphim shuts down this engine and turns to Eugen. Time for you to go have a poke around in those rocks. He waves a hand at the scattering of asteroids. Enjoy. Eugen barely seems to notice the sarcasm. A kind of fixed determination has come over him since you left the Hollow. It's not something you've seen before. Let's suit up and find the beacon. He pats you on the shoulder. Lewis says the first of a trail, so the faster we locate this one and get ourselves pointed to the next, the better. Enough messing around. Kicks off and glides out of the cockpit, heading straight for the airlock. Not the most attractive of locales, Bliss smiles as they nod towards the sparse gray rocks, but we should keep our eye open anyway. Those that leave trails like this like to leave traps too. Never worked on a fraction drive before. This thing turns out to be real. I call shotgun on digging around in its guts. They wink and follow Eugen. It's just you and Seraphim left in the cockpit. Taps at his console, ignoring you. Think it's a bad idea? Seraphim turns to me. He mockingly puts his finger on his own chest. Look, get serious for a second. People have been searching for this thing since the Solheim collapse. That's a lot of desire directed at one hidden drive. Objects like that tend to get people in trouble, Seraphim sighs. At least in my experience. So take it slow, and keep your eyes on Eugen. Seraphim turns back to the console, busying himself with diagnostics. Turn and leave the cockpit, your mind on the beacon and the trail that should all being well, end at a ticket out of the entire system. Endure. Oh boy. Might have to start, Does he have a... Yeah, okay. Well, I have a bonus to endure, so... I'll start working it. Alright, this should get us through the first one. Because location is masked by debris or radiation. You'll have to search it out to find the path ahead. Okay, we're just skipping to the next one. Oh, here we go. Intuit. Okay, this is why I needed the Intuit. Scorch marks on the ship's drive seem to indicate a direction of onward travel. I don't think there's a time limit. 25%. I definitely don't want to use any other ones. Oh, I get one stress. Shit. Alright, well. Okay, well, the minus energy doesn't really matter. Okay, day 2. Okay, guess we do more into it? I might have to take the stress this time, or I can, I think I just do this. This will get me, we'll see if we need to push. We're in. Eugen nods at the data port, deep inside the body of the beacon. He peers through his suit's faceplate at it. You have part of the plating removed, and you're pretty sure you have access to the coordinates you need. All that is left is a slotted drive. I've got this. Eugen takes out a thumbnail drive and slots it. Easy as can be. A smile flickers across his face. You peer into the beacon. It has been a delicate job getting the security access and the system knowledge to find the coordinates for the next step, but it all seems to have passed without incident. Got it. Eugen pulls the drive and thumps you on the shoulder. Let's head to the next one. Look alive down there. Seraphine's voice comes over the comms. We got a ship on approach. We need to make ourselves scarce. You and Eugen exchange looks. The singers. You kick off and glide towards the ship, but Eugen goes in the other direction. You wonder what he's doing for a second, then you see it. He arrives at the beacon and immediately begins laying into its metal shell. He pulls a tool from his suit's belt and caves in the beacon with an anger that chills you. When he's done, the beacon... Okay, that's another typo. The beacon is just another chunk of debris in the shoals. He joins you in the cockpit. Seraphine gives you a look, but doesn't say a word. He just silently taps into new coordinates. You look across at Eugen, his expression fixed and his eyes cold. Then Seraphine fires up the drive. Okay, we gotta go to the next area. A shrill beep wakes you from stargazing. What was that? Seraphine looks around the cockpit as warning lights and sirens sound all over the ship. The terminal screen flicker, some of them not coming back on. You hear a groan from somewhere deep in the ship. Some kind of pulse? An energy weapon? Seraphine slaps the side of his flickering terminal until it stabilizes. On it, you see a red dot moving further away from the center of the circle. A ship is accelerating away. Seraphine taps at his console, bringing up the transponder information. Turns to Eugen with a hard stare. It's Vesna. Eugen shakes his head. Got it in one. Seraphine grits his teeth. The Limb Hound. Registered in the far spindle. He slams his fist on his keyboard. How did she find us? How? Because Eugen is a sloppy operator, that's how. Seraphine shakes his head and starts working on the drive system. Now we're stranded. She knocked out our drive. Must have been waiting for us. Seraphine sighs. We'll need to get activated as quickly as we can. Eugen is up from his seat, peering out of the window at the large rock floating just outside. The beacon has to be there. Vesna cracked it, then waited for us to catch up. She was trying to dissuade us. Well, she's done a pretty good job. Seraphine scrolls through layers of drive diagnostics. Give up now? Eugen glances at you. We're so close. But Vesna's ahead. The race isn't over yet. Eugen meets your eye. She still has to find and extract the drive, not to mention the singers. We decrypt the beacon and fix the drive. No distractions. Eugen kicks off and glides out of the cockpit towards the airlock. Drive is likely just a system problem. Bliss gives you a serious look. We isolate the fault and it shouldn't be an issue. But it isn't going to happen fast. Look, Seraphine turns in his seat. We're in this now. No way back. Only forward. But the moment this goes south, and it will, I'll pull you out and we are leaving. Whether Eugen wants to back out or not. Seraphine meets your eye. He's serious. We can handle it. Hope you're right, Sleeper. Seraphine turns back to his console. this, as far as he is concerned, is your problem to fix. Okay. Well, it's a good thing I brought this engineer then. Oh, he doesn't even have a bonus. Okay, let's. My interfacing is okay. It's not the best. Yeah, I've only got one. Alright, I need a positive on this one. No, I need one more. Okay, well. 25%. Well, 75% is okay. Yeah, there we go. You have the vector for the final beacon. Time to end this. We still have to... Oh, shoot. We still have to fix this thing. Oh, he doesn't have a bonus endure? God damn it. Well, I can fix his stress. But yeah, not the other way around. Okay. Shoot, we only have 3 more cycles. It's not great. Hopefully my dice doesn't break here. Alright, it's okay. Oh man, our drive is really rough. We are kind of in a rush. I'm gonna have to push. Oh shit, okay, yeah. Oh, my 4s are 6s, that's pretty good. I'm gonna have to push harder soon. Okay. I need one more. Okay, we fixed our drive. Seraphim punches the final set of coordinates into his console and runs a fresh set of diagnostics on the rig's drive. Everything comes up green. The atmosphere in the cockpit is tense. None of you know what you might be flying into. Eugen's jaw is set, his eyes on the stars and scattered rocks, his goal in reach. It's not a goal to be underestimated. A fraction drive, one that can take any ship out of the system and beyond. One that can forge a path through the surrogate systems few can take. Freedom. Both from the system's politics and the structures of power that dominate the passage of people through colonized space. The problem with such a lofty ambition is that it is infectious, seductive. It is desirable enough to draw people out, bring them to their absolute limit. You have seen that in Eugen. The singers, too, are shaped by that desire, and Vesna, the steely-eyed captain you don't seem to be able to shake. The question is, who will flinch first? We don't have too many supplies left. Alright. Here you are, moored around a remote and airless rock. A scattering of debris concealing an object of great value. In a system spiraling into war. We're the last here. Seraphim shuts down the drive. But at least no one's starting shooting. Vesna will only kill as the last resort. Eugen looks out at the rock. The singers, I'm less sure about. Reassuring? Seraphim deadpans. So what now? We walk out here and start digging? What do you think, Eugen? Turn to Eugen, but he's already gone. You get after him. Seraphim shakes his head. I'm gonna keep the rig warm. I get the feeling we're gonna be needing it. As you glide out of the cockpit, you hear the airlock cycling. Eugen's already out. You speed up, grabbing the suit and wrestling it on as you head for the airlock. The door hisses to reveal a sparse landscape. The twisted parts of a facility or ship, corroded beyond recognition, jut up out of the dusty rock. Squinting into the faint distant sun, you can make out 2 figures in suits, standing a fair distance apart in the middle of the loose circle of debris. You glide down towards them, specks of loose gravel and decaying metal bouncing off your ship as you do. Now, voice crackles through your comms as you approach. Broadcast over the open channel. None of us want to die out here. You see them now, the 2 figures, Vesna and the leader of the singers, Peter, facing each other across the dusty plain. Doing some cowboy high noon shit. Vesna's arm jutting out from her body, her hand resting on an object at her hip, a weapon. Keep your distance, sleeper. Eyes flick over to you. as you approach. This godforsaken rock is crowded enough as it is. We set foot here first. The claim is ours, by anyone's judgment. Peter speaks calmly and slowly, his arms at his hips and his palms upturned. And I suspect we are also the best equipped to find the fraction drive and put it to use. Anyone's judgment? Vesna scoffs. Who do you see out here to validate your claim? She gestures at the rock-strewn void with one hand, the other firmly on the grip of her handgun. The sleeper is our witness here. Peter turns to you slowly. I'm sure they will verify our claim. I didn't see who was here first. Vesna laughs. Well, at least someone here still has integrity. You look between the two of them, searching their faces for an intent, an opening, anything. Vesna's ocular implants give nothing away, but the visible tension in her gun arm suggests failing patience. Peter, meanwhile, projects an atmosphere of considered calm, but there's violence behind that benign smile and a crew of singers somewhere out there in the dark. Who are we backing? Well, Vesna did like let you go before, and she didn't want to resort to violence, so be very careful what you say next. Peter eyes you with anger and fear. You see a flash of panic in Vesna's eyes as she realizes she might be surrounded already. Her arm tenses. The shot is silent, its direction unclear, but its effect is immediate. The side of Vesna's suit explodes in a geyser of escaping oxygen. She spins, clutching at the wound to clamp it closed. As she does, you see the shot grazed her, splitting the suit, but leaving her body beneath intact. Might want to run and get that fixed, Vesna. Eugen slips out from the shadow of a piece of debris at the edge of the circle. He holds a long gun at his hip. What are you doing? Claiming what's mine. Eugen's eyes are fixed on Peter as he moves closer. You son of a bitch. Vesna's doubled over, unable to take her hands away from the hole in her suit without risking immediate depressurization. Eugen draws alongside you, his eyes still on Peter. Time to turn yourself around, get in that ship of yours, and go back to wherever the hell you crawled out from. You glance at Vesna. There's a spout of oxygen spewing out from her suit, leaking between her fingers. She doesn't have long. Can't abandon his claim. Peter shows his open palms. For the singers to survive, we must leave the system behind. There is no way for us to support ourselves here. Our moon is gone, eaten up by the war. The belt will be next. You may as well shoot me here if you're not going to let me take the drive. This is my people's future. Well, Eugen shifts his shoulders. If you insist. Sleeper, we have incoming. A lot of incoming. You glance at Eugen. He is hearing the message too. A whole load of Conway ships are approaching this location. Conway? What are they doing here? Not about to radio and ask them. Seraphine's voice distorts, but it's not hard to imagine that news of this fraction drive has reached further than anyone wanted. You look across at Peter and see his lips moving, but hear nothing. He is talking to his crew. A moment later, you hear a click as he switches back to an open channel. If you heard what I just heard, then you know we are out of time. Peter looks deadly serious now, his face full of diplomatic calm having fallen away. We singers are the only crew who can pull the fraction drive out before Conway arrives. There are more of us, and we have the experience. Let us take it. Don't let it fall into the hands of the system's biggest enemy. Sleeper, Seraphine hisses over the comms. Get back to the rig. No, Eugen cuts in. You aren't sure if he's responding to Seraphine, Peter, or both. The drive is ours. I have worked too hard and come too far to let it go now. He raises the long gun to his shoulder. You're all insane. Vesna spits out the words, her voice strained and hoarse. I'll leave you to your graves. She kicks off from the rock, arcing around the crimson shape of the limb-hound. Eugen doesn't even watch her go. You see something flaring in his eyes. A dark drive with no other resolution. Oh, man. Wow. Talk him down 100% positive. Let's go. You put a hand on Eugen's shoulder, and his eyes flick to you. You know what it is to be driven, especially towards freedom. Yours is a life where each escape has been earned, both by desire and sheer determination. But you also know how lives are wasted, thrown against the walls that restrain them again and again, only to come apart. You know that determination must be tempered by humanity, by empathy, by care. And in this moment, that is what passes between you and Eugen. Solidarity, empathy, and care. Eugen's resolve crumbles and he turns. You see Peter watching carefully, his eyes flicking between the two of you. When he sees Eugen drop his gun, he nods to you and retreats. There's work to be done. You kick off from the rock together, you and Eugen, in silent resignation. Even when you reach the open airlock of the ring, Eugen does not look back. Once your suits are off, you both glide up to the cockpit to find Seraphim rapidly starting to drive. His console screen is filled with red pulses, signatures of Conway drone ships bearing down on this lonely rock. He glances up as you enter the cockpit, but says nothing. You're thankful for that, at least. There's no time for glib remarks. You take one last look at the Amphalian's past final resting place. Across the surface, black-suited singers, like a small army of ants, industriously working to excavate and extract the fraction drive. In the face of the inhuman and cruel arm of Conway Extractions, it is hard not to wish them well. May their freedom buy them the kind of future you were not able to claim. And then the drive kicks in and you leave the singers to their fate. Now, what happens to them? That's wild that happens. You're just like, well, I'm out. It gets too hot. Gotta know when to fold them. The ship is quiet as you dock with the Hollow. No one eager to speak about what happened out there in the shoals. Even Seraphim is quiet, tapping away at the engine shutdown with comfortingly routine motions. Eugen broods at the back of the cockpit, looking drained and pale. You know it will take him some time to come back from this, to extract himself from the hole that fraction drive, that dream held over him. You wonder if he ever will, or if the freedom that object represented to him will haunt him for the remains of his life. You know at least that now is not the time to try to discuss it, to lay out exactly what happened out there. Eugen will retreat, of course, hiding beneath the glib personality you have come to recognize as the shield. But perhaps, as the cycles pass, he will find himself changed. Perhaps not. Either way, there is much to be done, and this thankless adventure has derailed you enough. Time to get back to work. Okay, back to the rig. Oh, you actually lose the supplies now? Shit. Oh, well. I can... Damn it, I'm so bad at Intuit. It's like... Oh, it's just... Okay, you only get energy out of this. I guess it's not even worth it. We don't need energy. Okay, let's... Oh, well, we're using up our money pretty fast. I'll buy fuel here. Oh. There's not much else to do work with? I guess not. Interesting, I didn't break a single dice. Alright, I guess we should just go. Hold on. Look how many points. Only 1 point? Okay. Well, I mean, my Intuit will never be good. Should we just go to Olivera? It is right there. I mean, it is probably the closest we're gonna be. How long did that take? 20 minutes already. You find Olivera exactly where Ankita said it would be. A ragged colony, nestled in a crater on one of the biggest rocks of the shoals. Seraphim gets no response to his initial broadcast, so you find yourself in a docking tunnel. The rig at one end, the colony at the other, with no idea what awaits you. I need you to get back on that ship and keep flying. You freeze in the dark tunnel, a figure in front of you, holding a long gun at their hip. I'm serious. You see a man. No, your eyes adjust to the dark, and as they do, you see a man. No, a boy, carrying a long dark shape in his hand. I don't know how you found us, but you need to leave right now and forget this place. You glance over your shoulder and see Seraphim, his hand raised in front of him in a gesture of calm. Look, kid, we mean no harm. How about you go run and get someone? I am someone. I'm Xander. sticks out his jaw. It's you I don't know, and I'll decide who's gonna do some harm here. He reaches across his chest and thumbs on a lamp he has latched there. You blink in the glare of the bright light, shielding your eyes, and as you do, you see a flicker of confusion crossing Xander's face. He meets your eyes with a look of shock and opens his mouth as if to speak, though no words emerge. We have something for Carmen. You notice a familiar name register with Xander, adding to whatever confusion or question your appearance has provoked. You see his eyes taking in your sleeper body, his gun dropping a little as he takes his attention off of it. Is this? He looks between you and Seraphim. Are you here for Flint? Pulls the gun closer to himself. I'll be honest, kid. We have no idea who you were talking about. Seraphim allows himself to drift a little forward. Look, so how about you drop the gun and we can talk like adults? As Seraphim floats past you, he gives you a look that makes you nervous. We're just here to deliver something. Xander? The voice echoes along the docking bridge. Xander, what are you doing? A figure appears at the end of the bridge behind Xander. A young woman clearly older than the boy in front of you. Found these two trying to sneak in, Cadence. Xander keeps his eyes on you and Seraphim as he speaks. Saboteurs, maybe? Was about to send them on their way, Xander grins. I assure you we are not saboteurs, miss. Seraphim smiles at Cadence. Cadence sighs and glides towards Xander. Stop messing around with that welder. She snatches the gun out of Xander's hands, and as she does, both you and Seraphim reflexively flinch. Cadence looks at the two of you with a raised eyebrow and turns the gun so you can see it better. You notice the fuel tank and welding muzzles. It probably has an effective range of less than half a foot. Seraphim looks at Xander and rolls his eyes. Seriously? Cadence lowers the welder to her side and turns to Xander. Now's not the time. We just got an emergency broadcast from Carmen and Flint. Something's happened. Xander's attitude changes immediately. He turns to face Cadence, putting his back to you, as if you had just disappeared completely. What do you mean something's happened? I don't know. They went quiet in the shoals. All we got was a distress signal. Cadence raises her hands reassuringly. Don't get excited. They probably just had a technical fault in the ship. But we should check in anyway. We have to get them. Xander grabs the welder back and slings it over his shoulder. In what, Xander? Cadence sighs. They took our only functioning ship. The tender tied still in pieces in the hangar. Seraphim gives you a nudge and nods towards Cadence and Xander. This is your chance. We have a ship. Xander wheels around the tunnel, squinting at you in thought. Seraphim moves past you, approaching them. We need to see Carmen, and it seems like Carmen needs our help. He looks between the two of them. So how about we stop messing around this dingy tunnel and go get your friend? Xander turns back to Cadence. Them? Really? We're not the only people on Alvera. There must be other ships. You want to go looking? They're here now. Cadence looks at Seraphim, and they are generously offering to help. She smiles sheepishly. Fine, Xander folds his arms, but I'm coming with you. Fine by us. Seraphim shakes his head and looks at you. Come on then. You both turn around and head back into the ship. Seraphim whispering as you do. What kind of backwater has Ankita sent us to? He sighs. That kid thinks he's some kind of sheriff. It's just a kid. Yeah, a kid with heavy industrial equipment. What are you talking about? Xander catches up with you and Seraphim. His mood seemed buoyed by the prospect of boarding a ship. You wonder how often he gets to leave Olivera. Oh, you haven't seen the half of it, Xander winks. Wait up. You turn back to see Cadence, gliding up the tunnel. I changed my mind. I'm coming too. Give me a minute to grab some supplies. She glances at Xander, just in case. Seraphim cuts in. I'll give you a hand. That alright, sleeper? We'll be there in a sec. He looks at you. You pause, but Seraphim doesn't seem to wait for confirmation, as he and Cadence head back into the dock. You were slightly thrown off by his eagerness to be helpful. This is the first time you've actually seen him be welcoming to anyone coming on board the rig. When you get to the cockpit, you notice Xander looking wide-eyed at the consoles and switches. Cool ship, he grins. After a short wait, Cadence and Seraphim come back into the cockpit, all loaded up. Seraphim pats Xander on the shoulder. I want to strap in there, kid. Xander and Cadence find a place to settle as Seraphim buckles himself into the flight seat. Alright, turns to Xander. Show us where to go. Oh, immediate mission. You head out into the shoals, the thick debris field that surrounds Olivera. What's happening in there, sleeper? Bliss pokes their head into the cockpit as Seraphim brings the ship in towards the signal coordinates Xander gave him. You look around the cockpit. Xander is tapping at the co-pilot console mounted in front of his seat in a haphazard way, while Cadence is asking Seraphim about how the rig works. Surprisingly, Seraphim is responding with patience and care. Just some guests. Bliss glances at Xander as Seraphim reaches over and shuts off his console without looking. You seem a bit young for this. Bliss turns back to you. Judy is working on the ship's wiring and won't respond to my messages. She's probably in the walls somewhere, hooked up to the main line. They smile at me, smile. I'm here, so how about you tell me what we're doing out in the middle of nowhere? Quiet. Seraphim's voice cuts through their chatter. Is that? He gestures out into the debris field at a sparking, ragged-looking shape tucked beneath, beside a rock. Xander rushes to the cockpit glass. Carmen. A moment of tense silence grips the room. That's his ship. You and Bliss exchange concerned glances. This isn't good. I'll bring her in. Seraphim's eyes are fixed on the wreck of the crumbled ship now. We don't know anything yet, so everyone calm down. Xander's silent, his face pressed against the glass. Cadence stares out at the wreck, her cheeks pale. No one speaks until the rig is brought to a stop. Alright, now we're gonna go out there, and we'll have a poke around. Seraphim looks between Cadence and Xander. We verify towards the back of the cockpit. Suddenly, Xander pushes off from the window and glides with you out of the cockpit. I'm coming too. You need someone to identify the ship to identify. Stops and takes a breath. Of course. Xander nods to you, tight-lipped and pale. You head to the airlock to suit up. Oh, you need Bliss. Interesting. Oh, and Xander. Well, I have... Does he have Endure? He does have Endure. Well, okay. Wreck assessment. Doesn't seem to be in a rush. I mean, I don't know. Could just wait it out. I mean, it will cost us more supplies, but... Ooh, damn. Well, could use that one stress to... Will I push it? I guess. Should I? No, I think we have some time. I don't think we can. Or, I mean, they can take the stress actually. Oh, but he doesn't. Oh, it doesn't give him a bonus though. He doesn't get a bonus either, right? I mean, I don't know. I'll just risk their health a little bit here. Oh, you got it. One stress for me is definitely a lot less, is worse than one stress for them. Because my ability heals their stress, so. Huh. Okay, no damage to my... Okay. Search of Carmen's gutted ship has impacted the mood in the rig, as more and more evidence of an attack has appeared. The quieter Xander has got, and the more Cadence has retreated into the bunks. Now, with the search complete, you are gathered in the cockpit to discuss what's been found. Come on, Cadence floats by the door, hugging herself against the coal. Tell us already. Xander is perched on the back of one of the seats, flicking at some hinged container he found in the wreck. Open and closed, open and closed. Explain carefully. You start by summarizing the search, talking around the details, picking your language carefully. You describe the damage to the ship, but not the attack. You talk about the occupants of the ship without mentioning what might have happened to them. Seraphim quickly cuts in. What Sleeper is saying, gives you a look, is that the ship was hit with weapons fire. Badly. Then the drive was fired up, and they attempted to flee. The drive burnt out in the ship. After hitting multiple rocks and bits of debris, came to a halt here. Takes a breath. We found no bodies. At the mention of that word bodies, a shudder runs through those assembled. Then they are here, somewhere. Xander has a steely look in his eye. And we find them, whatever state they're in. He looks at Cadence. She nods back at him. Xander's right. We aren't leaving them out here. Carmen made Oliveira what it is. He saved us. He won't come back. We won't come back without him. Oliveira. She shivers and looks at Xander. He would do the same for us. Based on the damage to the ship, Seraphim begins. They're almost certainly dead. We get it. Xander cuts him off. But there are debris trails leading away from the ship. I've seen them. There are? Seraphim holds up his hands in a calming manner. But those could be from secondary explosions or depressurization. We picked the wrong trail and it could lead us in circles, cycle after cycle. Then we better pick the right one. Kane says Xander's steely look now. She stares directly at Seraphim, challenging him to answer back. He sighs, and that's what we'll do. He looks at you with resignation. Whatever happened here, you won't be leaving until you see its end. Oh, well, possible leads. Whole bunch of possible leads. One of 3 possible trail. Okay. Is this the right one? The trail is dead, Sleeper. Seraphim sighs over the columns. It's going nowhere. Okay. You have to agree. Picking through the debris has been nothing but an exercise of utility. And now, coming to a dead end, you aren't even sure if there's anything to find out here at all. Loop back to one of the other trails. I mean, I don't think we should do the one out in the middle of nowhere, right? You should go to the closer one. Okay. Is it always the third one? This is the leading anywhere, Sleeper. Sorry, we hold the call. Okay. Okay, it's probably always the third one. I don't have any more dice, and getting 2 more probably not that useful, so I'm just gonna end the cycle. Uh-oh. Took some damage here, maybe. Oh. Damn, he doesn't even have interface? Shit. Bliss. I mean, they... I don't know. Well, maybe I should try to end it here then, because, yeah, I don't want to take up too much stress. Well, we got magically stressed out all of a sudden. Oh shit, yeah, it's real bad. Okay. New location discovered, okay. Asteroid caves. Oh, Light's about to break some dice. Okay. Oh, we are definitely about to break some dice here. Yeah. Oh boy. When the starward trail led to the caves, a little hope was kindled in the hearts of the crew, but after plumbing the depths of these dark passages, that hope seemed snuffed out. Xander has struggled on in silence, only speaking to update Cadence on the lack of news via the cockpit comms link. But he speaks now, quietly at first, and then with increasing urgency. A light, Sleeper. I see a light. And with that, he kicks off hard from the wall and darts down a dark tunnel with reckless speed. You follow, but the tunnels are winding, and you quickly lose Xander around the corner. You kick off from the same wall, trying to close the gap, but when you come around this corner, you can't find Xander anywhere. And then you see it, through a thin slit in the cave wall, a flickering, fading light. You cross over to it and see scratches and chunks scraped out into the rock. Someone has dragged something through here. Push through. You push away some of the floating rock and squeeze yourself into the gap. As you do, you watch the light pulsing inside the cave, setting the cracks and shapes of the rock in sharp relief. You search those shadows for something recognizable, but the light source remains out of sight. And then you are through. You steady yourself against the wall and look towards the light. There, beside the fading emergency lamp, floats a body, its head instantly striking you as strange and misshapen. You know immediately this must be Cartman. His head is shrouded in an emergency helmet, inflating around him like a balloon, while an oxygen canister floats nearby, attached by a cube. His eyes are closed, his body still. You try to settle your gaze on the chest to see the telltale rise and fall. And then the light catches something nearby, something broken and skeletal. A face with bright eyes watching you. A sleeper. Another sleeper. They watch you with lit irises, one's just like yours. Their torn face reveals no emotion. They pose crouched, coiled even, like a spring ready to strike. You are both frozen, unsure, afraid. Nothing moves. Your eyes trace the damage to their suit to their body. They look broken, worn down, and you wonder if this is how you look to others. If they flinch when they see you, as you feel the need to now. Carman. Xander's panicked voice cuts through the silence. He rushes forward to the floating body, and as he does, the other sleeper pulls away from the wall like a statue coming to life. For a moment, you go to intervene to save Xander from the skeletal figure, but the sleeper falls on Xander to embrace him, and Xander returns the hug. You float, stunned, watching as Xander begins to carry Carmen's body from the cave with Flint the sleeper guiding him. Carmen's stable. Kans comes out from the room that has become a makeshift med bay. She looks between you and Seraphim, thanks to you. And Flint? Kans pauses, choosing her answer carefully. Flint is in there with Carmen. They seem to be functional. She looks away, if that's what you mean. We should head back to Oliveira. Seraphim cuts in. He places a hand on your shoulder and steers you away towards the cockpit. Once you're at earshot, Seraphim turns to you. Did you know Flint was a sleeper? No. Seraphim nods. He pauses. I don't want to be suspicious. I was just surprised, that's all. Seraphim looks back towards the medbay. They look different. Different how? Seraphim sighs, unsure of his words. Just never seen a sleeper like that. Turns away. I'll go get her started up. Pats you on the shoulder and heads to the cockpit. Let's just keep an eye on them, okay? He leaves you floating in the corridor, unsure of what to think. Flint is the first sleeper you have met since you escaped the program, and at this point, those memories are little more than fragments and fictions. As the rumble of the drive runs through the ship, you can't help but feel a little concerned for what this might mean. I think I might actually just intentionally let some of them break, so I don't have to worry about them breaking on me next time. Let's see what happens. I guess that's fine. Alright, let's leave. Oh, actually I might have taken more than 5 stress this time. I still have 1 stress. Eugen finds you in a quiet corner of the rig. Seraphim just gave me something I think you need to see. Eugen has been uncharacteristically quiet since your journey to the Aphelion Path's resting place. And even now, there's a seriousness to him you do not recognize. He produces a personal terminal, a slate, and shows you the screen. On it is a message from the singers, from Peter. I was pleased to report the fraction drive's extraction was a success. You hear the gravelly voice in your mind as you read, thanks to your choice to concede. Conway attempted pursuit, but Singer's ships are fast and quiet, and we soon lost them in the debris. You smile. Peter's arrogance is clear even in writing. We have now begun on the project to implement and expand the fraction drive, which is why I am writing to you. Encrypted with this message is a full scan of the drive itself, its components and systems. You exchange a glance with Eugen. I believe you deserve as much for your integrity in our encounter. I'm glad we didn't have to kill you. What you do with the plans is up to you, but I would recommend you do not attempt to sell or publish them, unless you wish to attract further attention from Conway. The singers will soon leave Helion. In part, we have to acknowledge your role in making this possible. We wish you safe passage on your journey, Peter. At the bottom of the message, a handful of encrypted files open up to reveal an insanely complex set of scans and diagrams. The fraction drive. You look up at Eugen, who has a sharp smile on his face. The bastard did it. He shakes his head, and I have you to thank for stopping me from killing him. You should listen to me more. Eugen laughed. I'll do my best, Captain, but no promises. Building it is another problem. I'm not an engineer. He squints at the diagrams. We would need a lot of resources, and the kind of machines only found in places like Darkside. With time? Research? Who knows? Eugen grins. The point is, it's possible. We have the plans. The path is there. You see it now. Eugen's swagger returning. For better or for worse, this project fuels him. It's on the back burner for now. We have more immediate things to deal with. He slips the terminal away. But I will start calling in favors quietly, investigating how real this is. Do it carefully. He nods. I've learned my lesson. Eugen frowns, something dark crossing his face. Look, I know this is exciting, but... He pauses, unsure of his words. We know what people did to claim this drive. He swallows hard. What I did. Eugen taps at the terminal. Part of me wants to delete these right now. Looks down. They make me afraid of what I'll do to them. It won't be like that. Perhaps you're right. He smiles weakly. I want to believe. He slips the slate away. The way you treat me makes me believe something. Sprout knits, his own words irritating him, but I'm not sure what it is. And I'm not much of a believer. Eugen looks down. You can see he's fighting for himself. I don't like to owe people. Pats you on the shoulder. But for you, I'll make an exception. With that, he turns away, gliding back through the ship and out of sight. A fraction drive of your own. A machine to cut a path through the stars. You shake your head. It's hard not to dream. But you have seen the danger of that dream, too. What it drove Eugen and the others to do. Perhaps together you can keep each other on that narrow path to the future without straying into obsession. Or perhaps, thinking of those impossibly complex plans, it will never come to pass. Are they a diagram of your future, or a labyrinth to become lost in? The only way to know is to live together. You are left alone with Xander and Seraphim in the docks while Carmen is carefully carried from the rig by Flint, guided away into one of Oliveira's many tunnels and passages. Okay, I believe you. Xander shrugs his shoulders. Seraphim raises his eyebrow. Believe us how? That you aren't saboteurs. Shoots you a sheepish grin, although you never know. I appreciate that. No problem. He nods to you with the kind of seriousness that only children possess. Tell me, kid, Seraphim folds his arms. Why are you so protective of this place? I mean, no offense, but who'd want to sabotage a tin pot colony in the middle of the shoals? Xander bristles at the comment, but controls his anger. You don't get it. Oliveira is a refuge. Why do you think we're hiding all the way out here? He glances at you and back at Seraphim. I would have thought you'd understand what's at stake here. You seen Flint? Seraphim pauses, unsure how to respond. He looks embarrassed into silence. Look, Xander says, playing the peacemaker. You brought Carmen back to us? Everyone at Oliveira will thank you for that. How about you stick around for a bit? Get a feel for the place. If you need to resupply, we can help. We haven't got much, but if you chip in, we'll get your share. You'll get your share. He bows his head a little. We're more welcoming than we appear. Just don't expect to buy anything with those chits of yours. Xander puts his hands on his hips. Oliveira is not for sale. Seraphim shrugs. Alright, kid, he glances at you. We appreciate it. We need to hang around until Carmen is back up and awake anyway. I think we'll be glad of the rest. I'll see you around then. Xander touches his brow in a salute and kicks away, floating out of the docks. Seraphim turns around. A little shore leave doesn't sound so bad. I agree. Seraphim smiles. Alright then. He stretches. I'm going to head into town and see what's happening. He winks and glides away into Oliveira proper. You are left floating in the docks, unsure of what comes next. Doesn't seem like Lane is going to find you out here, so maybe this is the perfect time to take a breather, at least until you can bring Ankita's drive to Carmen. Turn that little thumbnail drive over in your pocket. Time to see what Oliveira has to offer. Well, first we have to de-stress. I have to freaking use my only good dice on resting. Oh, full glitch. Oh, okay. Okay, you can get supplies from this. Oh wow, that's actually really generous. You can get full supplies. As you leave the rig, you find a figure waiting for you in the docking tunnel. You think of Xander's hostile greeting when you first arrived. Is that him again? Where are you headed? Flint leans away from the wall. Now out of the battered suit you first saw him. The damage to their frame is concealed beneath your overalls, but you're still aware of it. Just beneath the surface. Farm stacks. Same. Flint nods in the direction of the colony. I'll join you. You float together through the docks in silence. Flint makes you nervous, and her insistence on intercepting you this cycle hasn't exactly calmed that sensation. Breaking the silence eventually becomes unavoidable. How did you end up here? Flint stares ahead, continuing their glide. Same as everyone else on Oliveira, Carmen found me. To mention Carmen's name recalls the image of him floating unconscious in the light of your work lamps in those deep and winding caves. You suppress a shudder. Flint gives you a sideways look, their mask-like face betraying no emotion. It's good you found us. They pause as you both move through a doorway. Could have been sooner, they blink, but better than nothing. Looking at Flint gives you an unsettling feeling, like catching your own reflection in a polished hull plate. Is this what others feel like when they speak with you? Watching the crooked mask, the lit irises for signs of human emotion? Interpreting the stuttering emulations of facial expressions as they cross your doll-like face? Flint turns away again, and you realize they might feel the same looking at you. Each the other's mirror. Each reminding the other of the gap between between being and being seen. What happened out there? Flint pauses. I made a mistake, one I won't make again. They frown and stare forward, offering nothing more. You arrive together at the winding entryway to the farm stacks, the gulping pulse of irrigation pipes humming in the walls. So, sleeper. Flint's face curls in amusement as he uses the mononym everyone refers to you by. Oliver asks all of those it harbors to contribute to the colony. Show me what you can do. You and Flint join the farmers in the operations bay of the stacks, listening in on the shift's opening huddle. Jobs are assigned, yields discussed, and repairs prioritized. You go to work with the others, clambering into the guts of one of the stacks to repair an irrigation pipe, then joining another team running a chemical analysis of the crop. Guided by the pulsing thump of the stacks and their systems, feeding their crops of kelp, algae, tubers, leaves, and roots, you find yourself letting go of your thoughts and focusing on the job at hand. You give yourself over to the satisfaction of working alongside others in a mode of mutual support. Something catches you, makes you look to one side, a glint that catches your eye, and there is Flint, taking a rest of their own. See a glint again. Flint turning something over in their fingers, watching it spin. A vial of stabilizer. My last vial. Flint speaks without taking her eyes off the drug. Even through the haze of your lost memories, you recall the fizzing, sickening pulse of that injection. The dependence your reboot freed you from. Saving it for a special occasion. Flint pockets the vial and meets your eye. You don't need stabilizer, do you? Flint moves away from the wall they were resting against. I noticed you were different from the first moment we met, but I didn't realize what it was until now. The way you work, the way you move, without dependence. I see it now. Flint folds their arms. Tell them about the reboot. You tell them about the process you and Seraphim attempted on Darkseid, the one that Lane interrupted. They listen absent-mindedly, watching the workers instead of you. That's not all, though, is it? Flint meets your eye. There's something wrong with you. More than just your decaying frame. Your signal, your presence, it smells different. Lane did something to me. I have come to know that feeling. The feeling that I am an object, a tool to be molded, to be shaped for someone else's use. Here in Olivera, people are different. Flint looks out at the workers. But I still know who I am, what I bring to this place. All of these people are at risk because of me. That means you too are at risk. A risk to your crew, to me, and more importantly to this place. That is what is worrying me. Olivera will welcome you, just as welcomed me. Flint stretches, and it will do so in spite of itself and its own safety. I want you to know that, because they will pay the cost, those close to you, and you must know that they pay it for you. With that, Flint turns and glides away, leaving no space for a response. You watch them leave, their billowing cloak revealing and concealing the glinting and ragged parts of their exposed skeleton as they go. The sound of raised voices echoes throughout the tunnel. Following them, you find yourself at the entrance to the clinic, where Flint and Xander are locked in a bitter argument. I won't take you out there, Flint. Xander is pleading with the sleeper. Look what happened to Carmen. They'll kill you. What happened to Carmen is exactly why I have to go. They will find me here, and when that happens, the whole colony can hear you too. Seraphim comes out of the clinic with cadence. You trying to wake up Carmen? You see Seraphim clock you, standing in the passageway. Your eyes meet and Seraphim looks away. Neither of you have seen each other since you brought Carmen back to Olivera. Trying to make sure what happened to Carmen doesn't happen to anyone else. Flint folds his arms. I'm the reason he is like he is, and that means it's on me to fix it. What are you talking about? You catch Flint off guard. They hadn't seen you waiting in the passageway. SNR came for me. That's what happened down in the debris field. They look down. You know what that means. SNR, the company that created you. The company you escaped. The idea of them bearing down on this place sets your nerves on edge. You have long since slipped their grasp. Lane disabled your tracker in exchange for unwavering service. A gift that became a trap. But Flint is still on the run, and if SNR attack Carmen's ship, they can't be far away. You look at Flint and see the fear in their eyes. The tracker is still active. Olivera is shrouded. Flint looks towards the center of the colony. Carmen managed to get a hold of a signal shroud and set it up here. You want to keep everyone safe. There's no way S&R can track me here. Am I missing something? Seraphim interrupts. If they can't find you here, what's the problem? It's not just about the tracker. That hunter found me in the debris field. They know I escaped. It's only a matter of time before the search brings them here. Silence falls on the group as the inevitability of the problem sets in. Xander looks distraught. You can't, Flint, Xander says in a quiet voice. They'll kill you. Seraphim glances at you and Flint in turn, and you see his mind working on a solution. He looks away, frowning. Sorry, Xander. This is how it is. Flint looks dejected. Unless we get them first. Seraphim smiles in a sheepish smile. An impish smile. Seraphim, what are you thinking? Kate speaks up for the first time. We know there's a hunter out there scouring the shoals, and we know they are looking for you, Flint. Seraphim shrugs. That means we have the upper hand. We don't need to bring them here. We can bring them anywhere we want. Seraphim looks around the group. So we get set, we prepare a little surprise, and then we wait. Flint is already shaking their head. The hunter could arrive here at any moment. We don't have time for this. If I had a ship, I would have left already. Then we move you now. We can take you somewhere we can prepare, and we work hard and fast to get an ambush set. When the hunter comes, Seraphim grins, we spring the trap. What kind of trap? That we still have to figure out, Seraphim admits. But you have to admit, it beats going out to die without a plan. Shoots Flint a look. And hey, if we fail, the outcome will be the same anyway. Flint doesn't respond immediately. You can see them thinking it through, considering their options. I'm coming. Xander has a determined look on his face. We're doing this, and I'm coming. Look, kid, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but this is the real thing. A bounty hunter is not going to stop patronizing me. Xander cuts him off. I know the shoals. You need me out there. The conversation suddenly devolves into many small arguments. The location, who should go, how to approach the ambush, the noise grows. The old Solheim manufactory. Cadence' voice rises clearly and precise through the noise. That's where you do it. It's on a rock real far enough from here, and it's a real labyrinth. You can lead the hunter there and get them lost inside. Cadence's eyes are bright and determined. The place is full of old machines, ordnance. We've been afraid to scavenge any of it. It's so unstable. You notice Seraphim watching Cadence speak, clearly impressed by the sudden shift towards decisive action. We could bring the whole place down on their head. Xander picks up Cadence's thread. I know the manufactory. It's a good idea. You look between those gatherers. Seraphim, stubborn and protective, Cadence's sharp eyes, Xander's relentless desire to get involved, and Flint, a sleeper like you. A sleeper in need of an escape. Carman was building something here, a shrouded haven, a place that needs protecting. He may be unconscious behind those doors, floating among the wires and tubes of the clinic, but something of him is here, in this group, making a plan of resistance. Flint's eyes meet yours, and you know what has to be done. The rig will leave Oliver this cycle. You have a hunter to trap. Oh, you have to go now? Oh. Well, we have to buy. We can't even buy supplies, right? Oh, free Flint. Okay. Shit. Okay, you can get scrap here. What does this do? Oh, fuel. Okay, well, we don't have to worry about that now. We need to, like... Oh, shit. Damn it. Why is supplies the hardest one? Oh, my God. Getting -2 is so bad. Okay. You lose 2 energy every time, too. Are you serious? Oh, not having Intuit is really screwing me over. We only have a few turns then. Okay, we got a lot of energy, but... I guess we can go, but I only have 2 supplies then. I don't know if that's enough. Alright, well... And I still have glitch. It's really bad for me, but, I mean... It's only 2 fuel. It's fine. Let's go. We'll do another mission. Oh, we can pick whoever? Hacking might be useful if we're going to the manufactory and then the, you know. I would have thought Xander would be, corroded plates, twisted struts, scattered scrap. The manufactory makes for a familiar sight. Just one more ragged artifact from the corporation that once owned this system. Despite that, something about it sets you on edge. Perhaps because it will also form the crucible for your attempt to take on an S&R hunter, the kind whose entire job is to bring in escaped sleepers like you, dead or alive. The rig is tucked behind the rock, running on low power with its transponder off. You hope that's enough not to draw attention. So, talk us through it. Seraphim turns back to Flint, Cadence, and Xander, all of whom are crammed into the cockpit along with your crew. We have to make this place look like a colony. That is what the hunter will expect, Cadence suggests first, her voice quavering a little with anxiety. We can seal up some of the holes, maybe install some lighting, fake it up. Okay, Seraphim nods reassuringly. That's good. What then? We'll force them to go deep. Xander cuts in and everyone looks at him. He pauses a little, intimidated by the attention, but Flint nods at him to continue. I've been out here before, on a salvage run. There's an assembly line that runs through the whole place, filled with old manufacturing machines. We seal doors, activate machines, make it a maze of malfunctioning construction arms and dead ends. Alright, control their route. I like it. Seraphim smiles at Xander. And if we get lucky, maybe one of those old machines will do the job for us. I doubt it. Flint joins in. We'll need the ordnance from the silos. Mining charges, fuel, whatever is left from when this place was churning out Solheim goods. They furrow their brow. We blow the place to make sure. Silence passes through the cockpit. The danger of what you're about to attempt dawning on everyone present. Okay? Seraphim has a dark look. That's the plan. We can detonate the ordnance with a command from the rig, a simple wideband comm signal. Look at them. Seraphim pats Flint on the shoulder. Once they go in, that hunter isn't coming back out. Turns to you. Anything we missed? What if they don't take the bait? Then I engage. Flint rubs their hands together nervously. I lead them in directly, right? Right. Seraphim confirms grimly. How long do you think we have? That's a lot of factory down there. The hunter got to me and Carmen fast. Flint looks out of the cockpit. No more than 3 cycles. When the hunter came for us, Flint grimaces, remembering the attack on Carmen's ship. They came from out of nowhere, hit us hard and fast. If it wasn't for Carmen, we need to be ready for anything. Flint looks at you. There won't be a warning. Seraphim sighs. Nice pep talk. Flint, you better find somewhere deep in that place, down in the bedrock. But make sure it has a back door, okay? He nods at the sleeper. The rest of us will get to work. Alright, you heard, Flint. We do this and we do it right. We'll make our stand on this rock. Let's not waste a moment more. Okay. Oh, everyone has their own jobs, I guess. Damn, I gotta plus stress already? All 3 parts must be ready, so about 3 cycles. Shit. Interface. Okay, well, she's good at interface. Okay, let me push. Got 3 cycles. Well, I have enough supplies for 3 anyway. Let's see. To it. Damn. Okay. Is there anything that's just risky? Oh, 80% negative. That might give me another stress though. Okay, no, wow, that was 20%. I guess I could leave it. Yeah, I think we should just leave it. Hopefully nothing breaks. No, damn it. Alright, well, definitely gonna push. We don't have too much time left. Am I good with engage? I am very good with engage. Well, actually, we have another cycle. We need something for her to do, so actually I should use the dice on other stuff. Don't need anything for engineering, which is kind of weird, frankly. Okay, yeah. Well, this is me, but I'm gonna be a lot weaker. Okay, that's one. Go easy with that. Flint's voice rumbles over local comms as he secured a final piece of ordnance. You turn to see them floating, backlit in the entrance to the bay. One of many that you have rigged with ordnance deep in the manufactory. Down here, dust and flecks of rust float through the beams of your lights, and the walls are bent and buckled. They spent the past cycles here, picking out a spot to draw the hunter down to. One they should be able to slip out of when the hunter finds their way in. It's a long time to be down in these dark tunnels, waiting. Looks like we're just about done. Their voice is flat. Their tone pragmatic. You okay? Flint nods, eager to be done with this. They look over their shoulder, however it plays out. Flint glides into bay slowly. There's something I need to tell you. Something I think you'll understand. What we are doing out here is not about saving me. It's about Oliveira. Struggle to see Flint's face with the lights behind them. I should be on a ship out of here, leading this hunter away, but they won't let me do that. They shake their head in frustration. And even if they would, they can't spare the ship, not after Carmen's got shut up. That was my mistake. I never should have let him persuade me to come with him on that supply run. Flint looks down. What's done is done. What matters now, what I need from you is a promise. Flint's bright irises flash, that you'll bring this place down with me in it if it means stopping the hunter. I won't do that. You will. Flint draws a little closer. You know as well as I that those who get close to us are at risk. That we, as sleepers, have to recognize what we open the door to. Carmen is my fault. I won't be Oliveira's downfall, too. With that, they turn and leave you in the dark. Okay. Oh, shit. I'm gonna lose another dice next. So I guess, yeah, I'll put him in the... Okay, that's not too bad. I don't really want to risk... I think I'm already getting kind of banged up here. Supply's empty. It's pretty bad. Okay, we only have one more cycle anyway. It's fine. This should be enough. Okay, there's two. You float for a moment, observing the chaos of the old assembly line. The scale of the structure, the number of machines, the arms and fabricators, the welders and bolters suggests industry on a scale you have never witnessed. The Hellion system, a system that now subsists on the leftovers of its failed corporate owners, was once filled with manufactories like this, churning out components and technologies, machines and resources for extracting the valuable materials and minerals that Solheim existed to amass. If someone was able to rebuild one of these places, to put it back in operation, imagine what could be fed into the belt, what changes could come for its people. Yet no one will undertake such a task because this place is haunted by the specter of Solheim, an entity that every being in the system can trace their origins back to. An entity that turned the entire system into a manufactory, a machine for accumulation, and that did not distinguish between human and machines as it did. You look at the broken machines, worn down and rusted, crippled and bent. Some of them have been put back into use this past cycle as part of your plan, and those jerk or turn randomly, blindly groping for components that will never be fed to them. None of them are sentient machines like you, and so they cannot feel or think. And yet, you cannot decide if for them to persist is a kind of cruelty that radiates from the system that created them, or the indication of a new life, one that grants them new function, new meaning, and the possibility of something more. Creepy, right? Xander floats beside you, his voice hissing through this close range from comms. Maybe the hunter will get spooked by those twitching arms. He imitates the scattered movement of the factory machines. More sad than creepy. Xander shrugs, if you say so. So, Xander gives you a look. How come this hunter isn't chasing you? My tracker is deactivated. Huh? Xander shoots you a look. Lucky you, who did that? My captor. Xander goes quiet. Let's focus on the hunter. Xander nods quietly. Xander looks out the assembly line, sighs. I like Flint. Happy to do this for him. He turns back to you, and I want to like you too. So don't mess this up, alright? Xander gives you a hard look. Don't let Flint down. Xander kicks off and glides towards the exit without waiting for a response. You watch him go for a moment before turning away. There's still so much to do. It's not that much to do. I think we just put the finishing touches on this one. I think that's fine though. I don't think it matters how much stress I get. If this is actually the end stages. Set a 3-stage trap and a hunter. You know, Candace's voice comes over to comms, shimmering with interference. From here, it doesn't look half bad. You look across the shell of the manufactory, now studded with lights and dotted with markings. The fresh welds and plates giving the whole place a fragile patchwork feeling. If I was a piece of shit hunter, this is what I think a normal person's settlement would look like, right? Right. Cadence goes quiet for a moment, her attempt at humor only serving to remind you both of the desperate circumstances. Have you spoken to Flint? Cadence pauses. I mean, really spoken? Why? Oh, why? Cadence stumbles over her words. I just thought you two might want to speak about... She trails off. Flint is very loyal. I know they're quiet and, well, intense, but... She sighs. I just hope you two can find some common ground. We get on just fine. Of course. Sorry. Cadence stops again. Oliver is a refuge. Cadence takes a breath. For all of us. I was in trouble when I met Carmen. We all were, in one way or another. Seraphim has told me a lot about you, Cadence hesitates, and I can see what you're trying to do for Flint and for Oliveira. Let her finish. I appreciate it. And I know Xander does, and Carmen will do as well. And Flint? Cadence pauses. Well, you'll see. The comms click off, returning you to the silence of the manufactory. You look out across the false colony at the glittering lights. They are a poor imitation of Oliveira's real lights, those that indicate the colony's fragile, delicate state. Shake it off and move on. This isn't over yet. No? Isn't it over? There's nothing else to do. Okay. All 3 parts. It says must be ready. Well... I don't think you can... Can you farm supplies from this? Oh, you can get... Oh, you can get a supply. Wow, that's actually really strong. It's also one reason you should always bring somebody women to it, then. This can take you from starving to, you know... Okay. Well, it won't be... I mean, it might break another dice, but... Yeah, okay. That's fine. Wake up, sleeper. Seraphine's in the bunks. We got incoming. Shake off the haze of forgotten dreams and get up. In moments, you're in the cockpit. Xander, Cadence, and Seraphine all gather around the console. On it, the local view shows nothing. Not a single ship signal, and few objects beyond the scattering of debris. It was right here, I swear it. Seraphine jabs at the screen. A ship. Small, but definitely a ship. Seraphine. Cadence sighs. We've all been up a while. Get some rest. I know what I saw. He catches her eye. You look at the screen, its gridded view showing the scattered signature of debris, like schools of fish drifting in a soft current. The manufactory is a noisy blob at the center of the circle, one that dissolves into the background at its edges. Nothing. And then there it is, a flicker, a flash, a spark of movement and light among one of the debris clouds. It flares and then is gone again. You look up and Seraphine meets your eye. He reads your expression immediately. Seraphine slams a hand down on the console, opening up to the comms channel. Look alive, Flint. They're coming in. Go deep and be ready to run. Pulls his hand off the switch. We better hope they heard that. Then you see it through the cockpit glass. The flare of an engine. Faint in mass, but driving a squat, dark ship out of the debris. The Hunter. The ship seems to idle a little near the manufactory's asteroid, drifting past the dressed-up shell of the old facility. Time to see if our fake colony is convincing enough. Cadence nervously claps her hand together. Will they buy it? They better. Seraphine looks concerned, because if they think this place looks abandoned, the Hunter might just strafe the whole facility. Seraphine swallows hard. We need them to dock, to come inside. You look out at the ship, and as you do, it jumps forward, towards the docking tower. You hesitate for a few tense moments as it hesitates, and then slides into... You watch for a few tense moments as it hesitates, and then slides into position onto one of the docking bridges. Cadence sighs in relief. They went for it. Seraphine pats you on the shoulder. Good job. The rat is in the maze. We can track them now, he exhales. At least that's the theory. I hooked up some basic monitoring devices in the assembly line. Xander calls over from another console. A few shitty cameras repurposed from the factory monitoring systems. Not much, but hopefully enough to tell where they are at. Cadence, Seraphine, and you crowd around the screen. Xander flicks between noisy black and white images and feeds of static. You squint into the fizzing dark, trying to pick out any detail, and then suddenly you see them. That's what it looks like? Oh, they're also a sleeper? A shadow drifting beneath a flickering light, dark clad in military gear, a long gun held ready at their shoulder, deathly pale skin, and in their eyes, gleaming through the faceplate, glowing irises. Who the hell is that? Seraphim pulls back from the screen. They look like a sleeper. Xander finishes Seraphin's sentence. The frame disappears outside the margins of the frame, the figure, and Xander flicks through the feeds. Where did they go? You drift back from the screen, trying to think straight. The hunter is a sleeper, or something else. You replay the image of the figure in your mind, but it is already shifted in your memory. It is your face staring back. It is Flint's. It is the sleeper's mask of death. Sleeper. Seraphim grabs you by both shoulders and looks you in the eye. We need to focus. We should get down there. Xander's eyes are wide. This changes things. Xander's right. Xander nods to you and is gone, kicking hard off the cockpit wall and heading into the ship, towards the airlock. Seraphim gives you a hard look. You better hope nothing happens to that kid. He shuts off the console. Let's get after him. Go. Keynes looks between you and Seraphim with a steely expression. I'll stay here. She glances nervously at the console. Give me the signal. I'll send a detonation signal. She swallows hard. If it works. Seraphim looks torn for a moment and nods. Let's go. You rush down to the airlock and suit up, and then you are out, descending through the rock-strewn void in tense silence. You enter the manufactory through a gap in the frame, passing through layers of twisted facility, into the deep parts, where you know Flint waits in the dark. You say nothing to each other, afraid the comms will be intercepted. You lead Seraphim on, seeking the deep bays under the silos, where the organist waits for his detonation signal. If you can grab Xander, grab Flint, and then clear the facility, this can all still work. Seraphim's hand falls on your shoulder, pulling you back. You go to speak and then you see it, a torch beam lancing through the dark. A shadow drifting beneath a flickering light, dark clad in military gear, a long gun held ready at their shoulder, deathly pale skin, and in their eyes, gleaming through the faceplate, glowing irises. The hunter with eyes like you, like Flint. The hunter is a sleeper. Below you, they push through the dark and broken layers of the facility, seeking Flint. And where is Xander? Seraphim and you exchange the wide-eyed glances in silence. The hunter passes below, disappearing into a dark passage. You wait together, the moment stretching out, then descend down into that same passage. The silence is absolute. Suddenly, there's a flash of light ahead, bright and forceful, and a rumble that shakes rust flakes from the walls. You and Seraphim push off hard, gliding into the dark, desperate and afraid. You come into a low bay scattered with glowing embers. Scorched holes in the walls spew drops of red-hot metal where a weapon has been discharged. The hunter floats at the center, taking aim again, and you see a flicker of movement on the far side, Flint retreating. Before you can act, a slight figure in a suit slams into the back of the hunter, Xander. As he hits, the hunter's gun spins out in her hand. Okay, well, 100% positive. Obviously, you used that one. You slam into the hunter, lashing out with your fists. You feel Xander at your side, striking out too. The three of you spin through the spark-filled bay towards a gaping, dark shaft at its far side. The hunter, dazed from the blows, kicks out against the two of you, sending themselves spinning away, their torch slipping from their grip and arcing across the bay. As it does, they fall back, unable to find anything to slow their glide, spinning into the dark. The hunter disappears down the shaft as you and Xander drift back into the bay. I've got Flint, Seraphim calls out over local comms. We ascend now. You look across to the two of them, kicking off from the floor of the bay towards a ragged hole in the ceiling. You and Xander exchange a single glance, then follow. Cadence? Seraphim is on the wide band. Detonate this place now. Send a command. There is silence. You ascend through it, through the layers of the manufactory, seeking the open void of space beyond. You clear the manufactory, gliding into open space. A silent shockwave, like a gust of wind, runs through the void. The silent rumble spits out while there's no wind right in space, so... Would you still feel an explosion? I mean, you will still feel the explosion, I guess. The silent rumble spits out a scatter of debris. You turn back, still gliding towards the ship, and see the shattered manufactory. Whole sections are bending outward, the framework shredded, plating tumbling away in shards. You look across at Seraphim and Flint, their eyes set on the ship. trying only to stay ahead of the debris. You do the same, fixing your attention on the rig and nothing else. The hunter is dead. Alright, we're out. Contract concluded. Hey, we kept it under 5 stress too. You limp back to Oliveira, the mood in the rig one of deep exhaustion. But as the colony appears, visible from the cockpit, the satisfaction of having run a terrifying gauntlet and come back in one piece shifts the mood. The crew's improved mood only becomes more obvious as you draw closer to Oliveira. As you come into dock with the colony, you feel a wave of relief. Seraphim pats you on the shoulder as you both wait for the airlock to open. That hunter. He sighs. SNRP is crueler than I could have imagined. I mean, it's just freaking Blade Runner, right? It doesn't surprise me. It's a nasty logic. Send a sleeper to catch a sleeper. Seraphim shakes his head. I'm glad we bought Flint some freedom. The airlock hisses open, revealing the docking bridge where Xander first confronted you. This time, another, more substantial figure waits in the passage. I hear you're the ones I should be thanking for saving my life. Cartman leans against the side of the tunnel, one arm clasped against his waist, so thank you. He nods at the two of you. Happy to help. Cartman smiles. I have a feeling there might be more to your arrival than just a friendly traveler offering a helping hand. Cartman! Keynes rushes past the two of you, gliding into Cartman with an embrace strong enough to lead the injured man off balance. Alright, careful. You don't want to put me back in the medbay now, do you? Cartman pushes Cadence back with a gentle grip on her shoulders. He flinches as he does, his joke clearly holding some truth. Sorry, Cadence smiles, just glad to see you out. Frown crosses Cartman's face. Where's Xander? You losing your vision, old man? You look back to see Xander and Flint behind you in the tunnel. Xander smiles widely at Cartman, betraying his happiness to see him. I'll be just fine, Xan. Cartman's words are confident, but his tone suggests he isn't convinced. You notice his hands are tightly balled into fists, as if resisting pain, and wonder if he should really be up at all. Well, less gravity means less stress on your body, right? Cartman turns to look at you and Seraphim. I think we need to talk. How about you two and Flint accompany me to the med bay? Cartman winks. Flint pushes past you both and goes to Cartman, helping him out of the tunnel. As he does, they exchange a few words, but you're too far away to make them out. You and Seraphim exchange glances and follow behind him into Oliveira. Cartman leads you to a small recovery bay, chamber in the med bay, where his bed is set up. A handful of tubes and wires float gently beside it, attached to boxy devices. Flint has already left the group, leaving just you and Seraphim with Oliveira's injured founder. Cartman meets your eye with a hard look. So, how did you two end up stumbling into our colony out in the shoals? You raise an eyebrow. Because we're not usually open to visitors. Ankita sent us to you. You see the flicker of recognition in Cartman's eyes when you mention Ankita. You produce the thumbnail drive, holding it out for Cartman to inspect. She told Sleeper to deliver this to you and you alone. Seraphim folds his arms. Cartman pauses thoughtfully. That's a name I have not heard for a while. He takes the drive. It seems I should thank you again. He sighs, and perhaps I owe you some explanation myself. Ankita and I used to work together, a lifetime ago. Cartman shakes his head. We went our separate ways, but then she turned up back in Oliveira. I established this colony as a refuge, a way of starting again. Cartman clasps his hands together. The belt is changing, and I am afraid of what is coming. Ankita took refuge here for a short while, and then one cycle she was gone. Cartman shrugs. That's not unusual for her. Each of us have our own demons. He holds up the drive. I will take a look at what's on here when I'm able. He looks at the drive with concern. I will let you know what I find. You and Seraphim thank him and leave the chamber as he settles back on the recovery bed. As you leave, Flint catches your attention. Can we speak? Seraphim pauses. I'll catch you back on the rig. He looks between the two of you and then glides away. Flint hovers, a look of concern on their mask-like face. What do you need? Flint gives you a curious look. You don't remember any of it, do you? Any of what? Of how you got here, of your history. Flint screws up their face in a pained expression. At first, I thought you were hiding something, or you were intentionally avoiding the subject, so I waited. But I understand it now. You don't remember me at all. You take a moment to think. Try to recall Flint. You furrow your brow in frustration, sifting through hazy memories of Darkseid, and further back of your arrival to the belt. You close your eyes, and you see faces of other sleepers, panicked and desperate in the darkness. I don't remember. We worked together in the same SNR mining installation, along with the other sleepers. He searches your eyes for a spark of recognition. We weren't close. I'm not sure we really spoke. Very few of us did. But I was there when we planned the escape together, the run to the freighter, collapsing the mine shaft. Flint stopped, struggling to continue in the face of the blank look you were giving them. You feel an unpleasant itch, as if something's crawling around inside your skull. You can see that Flint wants you to recall them, to recall the escape, the installation, but you find only hazy sensations, and beneath them, pain. Sorry, I don't mean to. Flint looks down. I know you can't help it. I just needed to say something, to know if you really don't remember. Thank you for everything you've done for me, for Olivera. Flint turns and drifts away dejectedly, unable to continue. As you watch Flint go, you scratch at the side of your head, trying to find something in the way they move, the way they speak, their emasculated face. A face that was identical to yours when it was first cast, but that over cycle after cycle of wear and damage has been transformed. Two machines, so close in form and function, estranged by experience. Oh, okay, we have to do more freaking. Okay, we used the lowest one on this, probably. Get some energy back. Oh, crap. Okay. Okay. Well, I need more supplies. Freaking thing you need Intuit, the skill I don't have for this. Wow, okay. What's over here? Oh, we gotta wait, okay. About to be out of normal scrap components. Alright, I'm much healthier now. Full glitch though. Thanks for coming up, sleeper. Carmen's waiting for you in Seraphim when you arrive at the med bay, looking a lot fresher. He leads you into a small alcove set up like an office, with an aging terminal and a simple welded desk, and a small window looking out across the dusty rock of Olivera. Got some news for us? Seraphim asked impatiently. Since you arrived back from the manufactory, he's been restless, though you aren't sure why. Not to worry, Carmen grinned slightly. I think you'll want to hear this. Hits a key on the terminal and a file browser appears on the screen, showing hundreds of individual pieces of data. Ankita has been busy. Carmen gestures to the screen. She's been scraping Utsubo communications cycle after cycle. Got access to ciphers and encryption that only the gang's leadership should be able to see. He smiles. It seems she's learned some tricks since we worked together. But that's not what matters. What matters is the content of these messages. Taps a few keys and loads some of the data, which scrolls down the screen. Some parts of Utsubo leadership have been getting ideas. Ideas about taking Greenbelt and controlling food production in the belt. About exerting power over Wellspring. Big ideas for a gang. But these Utsubo members aren't alone. They found themselves a powerful ally. Carmen shakes his head. Senate Stat. Senate Stat. One of two corporations fighting a bitter battle for control of the inner system. A pernicious force. One that Utsubo are opening a door for in the belt. Can't be serious. Seraphim cousin, they can't be that stupid. I don't know what to tell you. At least someone inside Utsubo is trying to broker a partnership. Who? Seraphim leans over to look at the screen. You don't need Carmen's answer, and neither does Seraphim. Lane. Seraphim looks at you, shaking his head. Has to be Lane. Carmen looks between you both. Seems like you already know something I don't. Lane's a piece of shit Utsubo leader who thinks he owns us. Seraphim shakes his head. Exactly the kind of piece of shit arrogant enough to try to manipulate Senate Stat. Carmen nods thoughtfully. My condolences. I'm starting to see how you cross paths with Ankita. We have a shared enemy then. Carmen pauses, his face unmoving. I'm not sure you want this fight, Sleeper. Like I said, Ankita and I worked together. To put it simply, we ran in the same mercenary outfit. Carmen looks away. A lot has happened since then, but this message, this data, it's her calling in a favor. And I owe her, that's for sure. Carmen shakes his head and pushes himself off her desk, crossing the room to look out of the window at Olivera's pale and airless surface. Hell, after what went down, I owe you both too. You look at Carmen, staring out at the surface of this hostile rock, and wonder what he sees out there. He established the colony as a fallback, a retreat, not just for him, for others too. But you get the feeling that Carmen only knows any retreat is only ever temporary. He turns back to look at you. And you, Sleeper, what will you do? We'll take on Utsubo. Take on a gang? Carmen smiles. Are you sure about that? We're gonna end Lane, whatever it takes. Seraphim stares down Carmen, fist balled. Carmen looks at you. That one is going to get you in trouble. Turns to Seraphim. But I like that energy. He looks back out of the window. This is not something we are going to take head on. Shakes his head. Ankita sent us our weapon. Carmen turns and gestures at the console screen with its reams of incriminating data. Usubo don't control all Darkseid. They only aspire to. They also claim to offer protection from the war between Senistat and Conway. That presents us with an opportunity. Usubo is full of members who'd rather die than concede Darkseid to a corporate interest. We play this right, Usubo will end lane for us. He smiles at Seraphim, to use your phrase. You leak the data? Not leak. Carmen frowns. This is delicate, tricky. There are a lot of ways this can play out badly for all of us. We can handle it. We've cracked Darkseid once. We can do it again. Seraphim's confidence is infectious. Is that right? Carmen seems to be thinking something through. Crosses to the console, back to the window, and then to the console once more. Alright, I'm gonna need some time, but we can put this together. Carmen nods at Seraphim. We'll need that energy, but you also need to be ready. We rush this, it's not ending well, so I can wait. Carmen turns his attention to you. We'll go from Greenbelt when you're ready. I have friends there who can help get that ship of yours into Darkseid. Seraphim looks at you. We have our own preparations to make, but we'll be ready. Alright? Carmen unplugs Ankita's drive and hands it to you. Take this and get out of here. I don't want anyone finding this thing in my possession. You take it. The tiny drive is somehow heavier now that you know it contains the key to exposing lane. Thank you. I'll see you in the wheat sheaf. Carmen smiles to himself. They know me there. This guy's been around. Just understand something. Carmen's expression turns serious. You want my help on this? There's no way we can let it get back to the colony. Once you leave here, you're not coming back to Oliver. Not until we're done. He meets your eye. He needs confirmation that you recognize the importance of this. I understand. Then you can go. He returns to the window to stare at whatever it is he sees out there among the dusty rocks. When you come back to the rig, Flint is waiting for you. Well, leaning by the docking tunnel with a bag over their shoulder. They look up as you approach. Hey. Flint nods a greeting, appearing a little unsure. Hey. I know you've already done a lot for me, so I'm not going to push you or ask for your pity. They pause. You feel like they've been preparing this speech. Firstly, I owe you and I wanted to pay you back. I can work and I can fight, and I will protect the ship and crew with everything I have. Secondly, we come from the same place, and whether you remember or not, that means something. It must. I know I'm not the easiest to get on with. I know you might have your reservations about having another sleeper on the ship. I'm eager. I'm ready. I want to move on, and I want to show my value. They pause. And well, yeah, I think that's it. Look at Flint. Their frame's so much more damaged than yours, but with fire burning in their eyes, that makes them seem bigger than they are. Welcome aboard. Well, he still has a tracker on him, though, right? A smile spreads across Flint's face, and they look down to hide it. Thank you, they say to the floor. This'll work out. You'll see. Flint nods to you once more, and then turns and glides down the docking tunnel towards the ship. As they do, two figures at the edge of the docking concourse catches your eye. You pause to look, shifting a little, and as you do, you recognize Cadence leaning in. Some words are exchanged, ones you can only guess at, and then the other figure embraces Cadence and turns back to the ship. As Seraphim approaches, he ducks his head, passing quietly past you into the docking tunnel without a word. You take one last look out the docks, but Cadence is gone. You idle a moment longer, and feel there's something. Some presence, even in these empty bays. Something rare in all the belt that Oliver has captured. But, as with all things, you must learn to leave it behind. Okay. Alright, got a supply here. Okay, I guess we can get some fuel maybe? I don't know if it's safe though. Oh, well. Yeah. Plus 2 fuel, pretty good. Okay. I can up my, well, if I can up my engineering, I won't need, Bliss anymore then, right? Well, I need Intuit is the problem. I guess I can use, the Intuit girl then. that covers my weakness. Should we just move? Oh, wow. Okay, we have to go back to the hollow first. Oh, it takes 5? Jesus. Hold on. I don't need anything else here, right? I think I'm good. Still have some glitch. Alright. I don't have enough money. How much time is there? I still got about 20 minutes. I guess we can... I think I'll work the glitch out before we do anything else. I have some engineering now, just no into it. Let's see. Oh, we should feed the cat. Yeah. Okay. Can buy supplies, right? Alright, buy supplies. Yo, supplies are so expensive, man. 75. That's so much. Alright, I'll fill up on fuel. Fuel is so much cheaper in comparison, it's crazy. Okay. My interface is fine. It's not gonna give me too much cryo. Is there another workplace with the debris? No, you can sell processed scrap, but it's... I think this is the only place I've seen to sell that you can sell processed scrap. And how much do you get for them? 30 cryo is a lot, actually. Yeah, okay. You know what? We'll just sell them. I wonder if I can get raw scrap somewhere here. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think you can work. You can only work on the signal ship. Well, aligning arrays isn't risky. You might lose some energy, but... yeah, only a decent amount of cryo. I guess we can go to... where we go? Greenbelt? We need to make our way to Holmes Rock. Oh, we gotta go all the way back. Shit. Alright. Off to Greenbelt we go. New location discovered. Oh. Oh, we have to do... Why are they always asking me to use my shittiest stat? It's so annoying. Okay, well, where else can we... buy more fuel. Buy more fuel. Alright, what can you do here? Workers bar. Oh, I guess you can only, oh, God. Okay, well. Intuit's my worst stat. This might take a while. I mean, it's safe. There's no downside. Okay, well, this might be working. I have to spend 2 cycles here. I think you have to buy some food right now. Okay. Okay. Gotta make our way to Holmes Rock. It's gonna take a bit. Oh, something happened? You find yourself in the cockpit, alone with Flint. They have the habit of entering a room so silently that you don't notice them arrive, or the reverse. Leaving so silently that you turn around to find them gone. Right now, they hover expectantly at the corner of your vision, preparing to speak. Do you ever think about your original? The way they ask the question. You can tell they have been eager to ask it for a while. So yeah, sleepers are made from the minds of people who sign a contract of like... They get their minds cloned or whatever and then put into the sleeper bodies. I think their originals are like in cryo sleep or whatever. The person you were emulated from, I mean, the person who sold themselves sold you to SNARP. Flint's expression doesn't betray any emotion, but you feel like you can detect some unknowable feeling whirling behind their eyes. Sometimes I can't stop thinking about them, about who they were, and if who I am has anything to do with them. Flint looks away. Is my personality a product of being a sleeper, or simply a copy of theirs? Have I changed, or am I still identical to them? I mean, there's no way you could still be identical to them after going through what you went through, right? Does the emulation process, the loss of memory, the insertion into a frame, actually make us totally different people? What came through the process of emulation and what was blocked? Flint is looking around the cockpit rapidly now, their eyes flicking from object to object as they speak. Are their memories still inside me, but cut off, concealed? And if I admit it, I wonder if I even know what it feels like to be a person. Do the humans around me feel the things I feel? Or do they feel more, feel less, feel somehow differently? Do they feel the creeping claustrophobia of being trapped inside a body with no escape? Flint's eyes flick back to you. Or do only we know how that truly feels? I believe they do. I don't know if it's enough to just believe. Flint meets your eyes. I want to know. You're the first sleeper I have met since my escape. We can find out together. Alright, we can have a little... we've shared. There's a wall in you, one that you have built for yourself, one that separates the kind of questions Flint is asking from the parts of you that you need to live. You feel it now, like a weight in your chest, and behind it, there is a raging torrent pressing against it. You cannot take down this wall, you would drown, but in this moment, for Flint and for yourself, take out a single brick, you make a gap in the wall, and you share what comes bursting forth. You talk about what it feels like to wake up in a dying body, to catch a glance of yourself in a mirror, to be seen and reminded of your false and fractured face. You share the pain of lost memories, of fleeting deja vu, well, I guess like a glitch thing, of dreams that slip beneath your waking life and replace it. You find in your broken bodies and unsteady minds a kind of solidarity, one shared between connected strangers who might, one cycle, understand each other as friends. As you put the brick back in and shore up your defenses, you know that that cycle will not be this one, but it's a distant possibility. Oh, but its distant possibility is a reassuring one. Okay. I guess you just hang around with Flint. Alright, let me use up all the bad ones first before I use up my 6s. Oh, I might not even be able to... Oh, hold up. Come on. Oh, god damn it. Alright, well, I needed me to use up all my dice anyway. Alright, finish the scratch. Should we keep on keeping on? I guess. Let's buy something to eat. I get 4 energy from that, that's pretty cool. Okay, next we go to the Hellion Gate, I guess? Yeah, we could go straight to Holmes Rock, but it takes 12 fuel. Might be better off spending some time at Hellion Gate. I think you can get some supplies and shit for free. Oh, we got a message, sleeper. Seraphim comes to the bunks to get you, his mood unusually serious. He brings you to the cockpit, his keepsake coin in his hands the whole time, spinning between his fingers. Seraphim is worried. Once you're in the cockpit, you recognize Carmen's voice immediately, playing over the rig speaker. Sleeper, I hope this message finds you and your crew safely. You'll forgive me, I'm a little tight on the details. My message is as follows. We are ready. We will be waiting where agreed. Godspeed. The message ends with a click. So, Seraphim takes a deep breath. They are waiting in Greenbelt, the wheat sheaf, he said. Whatever that is. You ready for this? You need to prepare. Seraphim nods. No point in rushing this. We'll have one shot. Quiet falls in the cockpit. There doesn't seem to be much more to say. Carmen will be waiting, but you know he will want you to be prepared. I'll be ready when you are, sleeper. Seraphim nods to you. You nod back. You know where you need to go to end this. Oh, so that's where you go after, like, I guess everything's done, but... How many side quests do we have left? Help Hellion dispatches. We need to turn the radio back on. Investigate Hexport. We have to go back to Darkside for that anyway. Overthrow Lane. I guess that's it. There's really not too much left. I mean, we still have to get the weird radio. Other than that, that's probably... Oh, okay, we'll resupply on the fuel. Alright, we get some free fuel from, okay. Get some scrap? I guess we can get some scrap. Wow, bam, we took a huge energy loss there. Just get one raw scrap. I guess we can just head to... We've refueled. We can head to Holmes Rock. Let's go. Alright, hopefully we don't have to go through an entire quest to get the radio. Old relay. Disengage systems. Okay. Oh, okay, we have to pull the relay. Well, my interface and my Endure are both pretty good. I guess we'll just give it some time. I guess there's no danger here. Where else can you work? I can buy some fuel. Ooh. Okay, yeah, we only got 9 cryo back. Buy a meal. You can sell engine components. Okay. Nah, I'm not selling my engine components for that shit. I gotta feed our cat too. Oh. I mean, how many cats are there even in space? I wonder. Alright, end cycle. Just continue to work. I mean, even a 4 is guaranteed perfect on these things. Alright, using the 6 should be enough. Alright, we did it. We got the wide beam array. Okay, now we just have to go back to... I guess we just go back to... Alright. Shit, we gotta go all the way back to, gotta go all the way back down here to the hollow. Hold on, let me see. No, seriously? Bar spindle, okay. Where was the green leaf, right? Oh, okay, green belt is where they wanted, to go. To start the final mission. But no, we'll just... Okay. Ooh, look at these really nice rolls. Okay, maybe I won't suck this time. Let's see. Need 6 successes. I think the good outcome gives you 2, so that's actually perfectly fine. Oh. One more. Alright. 50-50. Damn it. I have to waste another cycle here. Okay. I guess I have to waste another cycle here. The main problem is freaking the fuel costs are adding up. Oh boy. I need 1 success here. Come on. 50-50. Yeah, there we go. Okay, good. I think that's it then, right? We just go back to... Okay, yeah, we go back to scatter yards. So. Alright, we did everything. Alright, just do some odd jobs that make some money, I guess, to hopefully... Alright, yeah, my Endure is my best skill. Endure and, not interface, engage are my 2 best skills, so. Alright, made some decent change there. Shit, okay. We still didn't even do the gambling thing. I don't think it's a good idea. My Intuit's the lowest stat. eat a little, and then we'll continue on our journey. Okay. Oh, gotta refuel also. Hold on. Oh, right. They can process raw scrap. Not raw scrap, right? Yep. Well, I have so much raw scrap. What the hell? Okay. Alright, well, I can sell them. I guess that makes a decent profit at, that makes a decent profit, because you can go sell the raw scrap at that other place. And they pay a lot for it. Okay, I really wish you can do multiple at once. I don't want to... Yeah, they pay like 30 each for processed scrap. Where do I refuel? Trade hall? Okay, buy fuel. Alright, not bad. Alright, let's get out of here. Can we make a straight shot for... Oh my god. Seriously, we have to go to Flotsam first, and then we have to... Okay. Come on, ships don't have to travel in straight lines, man. You can loop around. Well, we'll spend one cycle here. Okay, go to the offices. No, I'm super bad for Intuit. I mean, I'm not great in interface either. Get raw scrap here too, nice. Oh, shit, sure. Also buy supplies too. Keep on keeping on. Alright. Let's go finish this quest and then we'll call it a night. We'll have the save lane for next time. Sleeper. Surya booms as he sees you inside his yard. I couldn't be happier to see you. Tell me, did you find inspiration out there in our belt? He grins widely. I did. Let me see your work. Holds out a hand and you pass him the color slate. Lovely. Scrolls through the sketches. I'll pass your designs on to my crews, where they will build on them. Surya gestures to the yard. They are the best ship fitters in all the belts, as you know. If you come to the yard and speak with them, you may choose whichever design you desire. Surya squints at the slate. This hollow drawing is really quite interesting. He reaches into his tool belt and produces a stack of chits, the remainder of your fee. Our business is concluded. He nods, adding a little bow to his movement. I am a busy man and must get to my business. But thank you again for helping me to build a legacy for my yard. Surya folds his arms around his chest. I believe you have work to see to. But imagine, if you will, flying out on your next contract in a fresh livery. A beautiful reinvention from Surya's yard. He gestures widely. When your client asks why your rig is so beautiful, feel free to send them to me. Great. We've gotten into the advertising business. Surya smiles, bows, and turns to leave. You watch Surya go, still unsure if his entire attitude is an act, meant to confuse you into consent. He's a hard man to dislike, but there is something about him you can't quite put a finger on. Either way, it's hard not to feel a bit thankful for the chance he gave you to look at the belt with new eyes, even if it was while flying one of the most garish ships the belt's ever seen. Oh damn, I still need one more point to get another skill point. I probably will get each of these to +1 maybe? See, like, the more points you put into your dice, the more valuable your dice becomes, right? So I'm like, do I want it to be versatile? But Junie has plus, okay. Fabrication B. Oh, you can build engine components if you want. Alright, let's go. Can you repaint your ship? Rig hollow paint. Oh, you have to pay. Green belt paint. Greens, of course, but also simple natural forms makes the green belt design a strong graphic look. Rig spindle paint. A ramshackle mix of colors and textures. This forest spindle tribute blends in with the belt. I'll try the green one. How's that? Let's go look at our. Let's look at our little. Oh, okay. It's a leafy design. I guess we'll gotta feed our little buddy too. Gotta remember to feed your cat. Your space cat in this case. Okay, so you can build engine components, but I'm like, is that worth it? Is there anything else to do on this ship? Buy a meal? Oh, you can fill fuel. Okay. Fill fuel and fill supplies. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I guess I'll just... Oh, wait, no. There's the... You can search Marco's yard. Oh. Is it worth it? I mean, you only need 4 successes, I guess. I have 2 6s here. Oh, wow. Search failed. Oh, okay. You get some scrap components. Is that worth it? Might be better off doing the engine. You need 2, right? Okay, that's just enough to have 2. Okay, you get an engine component. How much can you make? Okay, yeah, you can just make as many engine parts as you want. That's pretty good. That's a decent amount of money, but... Okay. Alright, we'll call it here. I mean, there's not too many quests left. Investigate Hexport. I have to go back to Darkside anyway, so... Oh, right, we have to repair the... Oh, hold on. Oh, I messed up. You know what, let's do it here. I don't think there's going to be a whole mission involved here. I mean, it's right here, so let's just go back to the Hollow before we call it. Oh, man, I have my 5 days straight of working. It's going to feel bad for a bit. Alright, let's fix this person's radio. Install array. Kimball wants a powerful array from Holmes Rock to extend the range of the alien dispatches to the entire belt. Here you go. You wait in the makeshift Hellion Dispatches studio as Kimball tinkers with the array somewhere in the back, behind the far wall. It's a humble setup. A stool for Cyrene, a microphone, the transmitter and mixer terminal, and a hard line sneaking away towards the array. But there's something pleasing about it all the same. The crackling sound of fresh welds echoes through the bay from Kimball's concealed position. You hope that the array you struggle to extract isn't getting fried as you wait. You're here? Good. Serene rushes in, holding a small dark rectangle in her hand. You will not believe what we have on here. She looks around the bay. Where's Kimball? Installing the array? You mean... Cyrene smiles. We're going back on air? Before you can answer, she leaps forward, grabbing you in a surprisingly firm hug. Cyrene lets you go. Sorry, she smiles. Just excited to finally be back. Kimball, she shouts towards the back of the bay. How long for that new array? A muffled shout comes from behind the rear wall. Okay. Cyrene takes a steadying breath. We have a little time. What have you got there? This broadcast is from Erlin's Eye. Cyrene's eyes flash. We haven't heard anything out of them since the start of the war. Some people even said they've fallen to the flux. But something is happening there. Something is growing. This report says that some protocol has taken over the station, become its protector. Conway drones can't get close. Senate Stat is giving it a wide berth. They're right in the middle of the war. Conway on the starward side, Senate Stat on the sunward, and they are resisting. Cyrene smiles. We have to tell everyone in the belt about this. We have to get the word out. If the eye can be held, well, maybe we can hold out too. Cyrene looks at the drive in her hand. Either way, people need to know. There's a sudden clunk, a few percussive shouts from Kimball, and then flickering of lights all across the bay as the transmitter array begins powering up. You and Cyrene watch as the Hellion Dispatch studio comes to life, ready to broadcast once more. Not bad. Cyrene leans into your shoulder. Not bad at all. Shout comes from Kimball, and you know he's calling for Cyrene to get ready. That's my signal, she grins. Oh, I almost forgot. Cyrene produces a handful of chits. Turns out we have some avid listeners in the radius markets. She deposits them into your hands. Alright, Cyrene takes a breath. I need to go live. She flashes you a final smile. Thank you. I'll make sure we make good use of that array. This will mean something. Kim will bellow something from the back of the room, something you can only assume is a thank you. You leave the belt's most unusual double act to their broadcast. And as you do, you hear Cyrene's voice echoing through the bay. This is Cyrene Saber, back on air, to wish you all a free Hellion, now and forever. Okay. Hey! Exactly enough points. Okay, do we want to double down and get, like, extra engineering, too? I mean... I guess so, right? This way I don't need Bliss. I can have Junie for the interface and, Nia for the Intuit. This way. This build's pretty good right now. Alright, we'll call it here. Continue probably tomorrow. I do feel like we're reaching the end, right? Like, beating Lane must be the final mission. Alright, guys. Good night. Oh, exactly.